Hi there. Kind of wanted to continue on my train of thought from my last video about ants, because I've been looking into them, and I kind of alluded to this fact on my last video, where I wasn't really sure if the behavior of the ants was something that was actually programmed into the ant, which I guess would be a little bit easier to explain through a Darwinistic evolution point of view. Still has its problems, but it would be a little bit easier, if it's programmed into the ant, into the DNA of the ant. But then I was also thinking, if it wasn't, I don't see how that Darwinistic evolution can explain that. And then I came across I didn't know this, but I guess that ants do in fact learn. I'll leave a link to the study on the ants, where it's on tandem running ants, and you have a teacher ant and a student ant. Now this is important because the information that's being transferred to the ant is actually never really in the ant. It's teaching a behavior that it's determined through experience, and the experience it determined that it was a good enough experience to teach to another ant to benefit the colony. But there's nothing wrong with the student ant. The student ant is an ant. Was built by the DNA. It was, there's, again, I have a hard time describing this, but it's, there's no fault in the student ant at all. And yet, it's having to learn this information to benefit the colony. So again, the information is consistently outside of the ant. That's an anomaly. That kind of shows that there must be something non-materialistic that creates that. To clarify my point, if you look at human behavior, there's certain things that you cannot explain through the building blocks of our body. For example, you can't get a computer from the DNA of a human. You can't get American government from the DNA of the human. And when I'm talking about DNA, I'm talking about just everything that makes up a human. I mean, not just the genetic instructions, but also the materials that are inside the body. The hydrogen, the carbons, the water, everything, the electromagnetic, impulses that are firing off through the neurons and everything. There's nothing in those mechanisms that will get you Nintendo. Likewise, that ant, there's nothing in the ant that will get you that information. So it's an anomaly. But it's there. We can see it. So we can hypothesize there must be some other force that's able to do that, because we can see it. We can see that this information is being taught, and that there's no explanation for it inside the ant. Anyway, for those that are curious, I'd encourage you to just take a look at the link, and Let me know what you think about that. Makes you wonder where this thought came from. You know, is there an explanation for it? You know. All right, take care.